So do you quit a model kit when you start messing it up during the build? Now you put so much love and passion and hope and motivation into this build, and you're looking so much forward to the day when you can see the finished result. But suddenly you may realize that this day will probably never come. And we have to throw this thing in the trash and start something new because it's messed up and nobody wants to see it, right? So what we tend to do is take this package of frustration, throw it into the trash and stay frustrated. And every time we think about it, the frustration will come back. No, that's not what you should do. Because let me tell you, it's fun to fail. Yes. And there are a few good reasons why you should not throw that messed up model in the trash. Why you should invest just a little bit more time in it to make it to come to a happy end, to a good feeling. And here's how to achieve it. And to do so, we have to go back a little bit to get the context of the story. Now here's what happened. Everything started with me building a Spitfire and turning the experimental pre-shading mode on. And I did this already at the stage of priming because I primed half of the model with gray primer and the other half with black primer. Now doing this, I already made the first major mistake, which I didn't know at the time, but more about this later in the video. Then I started pre-shading. What I did is a reverse pre-shading somehow. On the black primer side, I started a white marbling. And on the gray primer side, I started a black panel line pre-shading. Now step 2 was to bring in some color variations. So first I used a light blue, mainly for the landing and steering flaps. Next, I used this horrible color called hull red to do some more color variation. I thought something red brownish would be quite cool with gray and green over it. And as I said, I turned experimental mode on. I was in the middle of the flow and I was just going and filling panel for panel for panel for panel. And then I realized, oh man, I made the entire thing almost looking like orange. So I decided to tone it down with some dark brown. It looked very promising. I was very motivated. I was feeling very good. And I did not know what was about to come. Then I realized that, yeah, I really had that tape seam line from, as I mentioned before, from taping for the gray and black primer. So I had to sand it down, and it was exactly where I actually used some putty and already did a lot of sanding to get rid of the seam line of the two fuselage halves joining together. Now I created another seam line there. This was the first indicator that something is about to go wrong. I was feeling very good and I really thought that, yeah, this is gonna be it. My first flawless model. This is gonna be perfect, man. An award-winning thing with this experimental pre-shading. And I started painting the first color of the upper surface camo, the blue-gray. And that's when I started to get careless and incautious because I was feeling too secure. And I highlighted the wrong areas in the panels. I should be doing this in the middle, but I did it at the edges of the panels. I couldn't think straight anymore. Now to mask the camo, I used the AK Camouflage Elastic Putty, which is a great product to do this, but you should always tape around the elastic putty to prevent you from having overspray. Because I didn't do it, I was feeling too cocky and I had a lot of overspray from the different shades of green that I used. because I didn't have the right shade. So I was trying to make it look more interesting by using a darker tone and a brighter tone, because I created a lot of overspray in the blue-gray that I was painting before. Now what I had to do is go in again with the blue-gray and completely cover the entire experimental pre-shading just to cover the overspray from the green camo. Everybody knows the Spitfire has those yellow stripes, and to make the yellow pop more, I thought I'll be super smart and I pre-paint this with pink. And again, I didn't mask properly and I didn't spray properly, or both at the same time. And then I ended up with having some pink overspray on the lower surface and on the upper surface. So again, I had to go in with the main colors and cover the rest of the pre-shading that was still visible. So actually I wanted to do a video about the crazy experimental pre-shading, but now I had to cover everything. So I had to take a decision. Should I stop the build and throw it into the bin, or should I have some fun with it? And I decided to have some fun. So now it looks like I'm still gonna have a decent model of a Spitfire now. And a few days before I was feeling down and low and I thought like, man, I can throw this away. But then I realized, hold on, this is actually the perfect occasion to try out some stuff. Just without fearing to mess it up, because it's already messed up. Because I'm sure at home you have some weathering products which you never really used so far, right? So it's the perfect occasion to try it out. So what I did is using washes, oil brushes, highlight, chippings, filters. At least I want to have fun on this model a bit. I don't want to have only the negative feeling. I want to have a positive feeling. So messed up models are not only a good way just to try out some weathering techniques and have some fun, and maybe still make it look good in the end. And secondly, they are like a monument. So you never ever forget. So I say it's fun to fail, because I personally learn much more when I fail compared to when I just, when the model just turns out beautiful. I'm very happy. I have a very beautiful model. Of course, that's a great thing. But I learn the most when I fail, because I reflect what was the problem? How can I prevent this from happening the next time? And to not forget, because I tend to forget sometimes some things, put it on the shelf of shame over there and let it be a monument. So let me know in the comment section, what is your procedure? Do you quit a model kit when you mess it up during the build? Or how do you proceed? Leave a comment and let me know. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.